Galamera, Galamera, Galamera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You join me this morning here on the balcony. I feel like I'm a little bit against the clock this morning. Here you go, darling. I feel like I'm a little bit against the clock this morning because we're supposedly expecting a power cut to occur within the next, within the next few minutes or so. So I'm just going to quickly do the news as fast as I can, simply because I want to make sure I can get it done before we have the power cut. Anyway, the weather today, slightly cloudy. We have a feeling the weather's about to change, even though we've got washing on at the moment. We have a feeling that we're not going to be able to put the washing out because, I don't know, it just doesn't feel good this morning, to be quite honest. And that's going to be reflected in the news. There's an air of uncertainty going on at the moment. One, because I know there's a power cut on the way at some point. And the other is because things are happening at the moment in Greece, and I'll give you that information. The one thing is for sure, the cats are consistent. Little chicken there is consistent as well. Big shout out to everybody tuning in at the moment, but I'm going to literally rush ahead with the news just to beat the power cut that's coming this morning. And thank you to Dom, who gave me the news on that last night, and I went and checked the paperwork and it said, yeah, supposedly this morning at some point the power's going to go. So if I suddenly disappear, it's because of the power cut. Right, okay, it's 3rd of March today, Wednesday, day 117 of the lockdown. Let's have a quick look at the COVID stats for the last 24 hours. Right, COVID in the last 24 hours, we've had 2,353 new infections. That's up on yesterday, where it was 1,176. That's 194,582 since the beginning of the pandemic. There were, actually, I didn't write down the new cases that were identified into the country, but we did have 4 the other day. I'm not sure what it is at the moment. However, according to the national stats yesterday, there were 7 new cases in Macardo who were in yellow. There was 1 case in Kefalonia who are in red. There were 2 cases in Corfu, they are in yellow. And we had 5 new cases reported on the island. And yesterday, local news wise, there were actually 6 new cases on the island yesterday and not 5. So obviously the stats for us today are going to be catching up on the national ones. But anyway, 6 new cases here recorded yesterday. Those involved a 38-year-old and his 2 children who were 7 and 10 years of age. Also a 70-year-old as well. A 35-year-old and a 52-year-old also had gone to the hospital suffering from mild symptoms. They were all diagnosed as having COVID and obviously sent back home to quarantine as well. Anyway, the first primary school of Zakynthos, that's going to remain closed for 14 days due to students who tested positive for coronavirus, who were amongst those people tested yesterday. All right, so they decided to close the first primary school for 14 days. Anyway, it was 2 little brothers actually who are students of the 5th grade of the school that were positively diagnosed, while yesterday there were 2 other cases of students as well from the same school. So students now are going to be continuing to distance learn. Anyway, moving on then to other stats then, there's been 23 new deaths across Greece from COVID. That's down from the previous day where there was 30, so that's an improvement. 6,557 has been the total amount of deaths that we've had here in Greece. The average age of those people around about 79, and 96.4% of those had underlying health conditions or were over the age of 70. And just to put that into context, the average daily death rate in Greece in 2019 was around 329 deaths a day, and we've only had 1 death here on Zakynthos since the beginning of the year as well. As for critical cases, that is on the way up at the moment. There's 406 critical cases. That has now gone up to 422, of which 295 are male and 127 are female. The average age of them is 68. and 86.5% of them have underlying health conditions or are over the age of 70. Right now, today's big news at the moment. Greek health experts on Tuesday said that the management of the pandemic may lie in smart solutions, as restrictions on public movement, especially in Attica and other parts of the country, fail to stem the coronavirus transmission and hospital infections to a desired degree. It seems that Stathis Livathinos, a infectious disease doctor and a member of the expert committee advising the Greek government, told the state broadcaster ERT yesterday, "We have lockdown right now, but you can't tell. We need to consider smart solutions," he said, expressing concerns about the upcoming holidays of Zakynthos or Smoky Thursday, which is tomorrow, and also Clean Monday, which are both big events on the Greek Orthodox calendar, and they're obviously associated with large gatherings of friends and family around a table or a barbecue stand. Anyway, his comments echoed those of fellow committee member and emergency medicine expert Theodoros Vassiliopoulos, who also told Antenna Television that the policy should move away from lockdown to a mix of more carefully targeted measures. Anyway, he said that there are several reasons of being explored as contributing to the failure of the lockdown to bring the desired results, not least of which public frustration with the restrictions efforts to basically try and circumnavigate them. Yeah, people have been trying to find their ways around them, and I'll be honest, I've been one of those people as well. All right, he did say this is why we need to explore a new mix of measures that will relieve citizens' fatigue. And Vaskopoulos also added that while the numbers over the past few days pointing to a rise of infections and hospitalizations and incubations are alarming, they are still better than what they were in November, when the ventilated patients surpassed 600 compared with the current level of 300. The problem is most acute to Attica, but the rest of Greece is doing better, he said, indicating that the new measures may be considered for the capital. Now, literally first thing this morning when I was quickly checking the news before coming on, it says as a stop press, due to the worsening epidemiological situation in many regions of Greece, the government's COVID-19 committee is going to meet today rather than Friday, its usual weekly timing. Some health experts are calling for strict nationwide hard lockdown for the next 15 days as the only way to prevent further deterioration in the situation and to bring some relief to the embattled health services. Well, we thought that was going to happen actually today, simply because tomorrow is Zakynthos, massive big celebration. Normally, families get together, people normally as communities get together. It's a great time here in Greece during Zakynthos, and obviously nobody has, shall we say, from the top, shall we say, reinforced any measures, shall we say, or any heads up warning as to what will happen, in the same way we had with Easter last year. It's gone very quiet from that perspective, and then obviously people, and Greeks being as they are, will say, sod it, we're just going to do as we would normally do. And also you've got to remember that families do live together. That's one thing that tends to be forgotten. Families do seem to all live together. Grandma is up downstairs, the next oldest lad is in the middle house, and the ones on the top are also from the family. So you can have 3 different generations living in the same building. So again, it's one of them difficult things is to draconian measures. Also as well, as they say, people are getting fed up with the lockdown, and of course here we've had a bit of a spike. That's true. We've noticed that the virus is kind of changing tactic at the moment, going for younger people, but the thing is, what is the policy that you're going to get? Are we trying to go for zero COVID? We're never going to get zero COVID now, from the looks of it. So again, there needs to be a rethink from the people at the top as to what your goals are. This is a problem that UK is having at the moment, is Boris is thinking about zero COVID. You're never going to get zero COVID from the looks of it now. It's always going to be with us. It's going to change. It's going to morph. It's going to be like the flu. So you have to weigh it up. with your economy, with people, with education, with everything else, and try and get back onto a level playing field. Now, I heard yesterday that Boris is now, this was late last night, Boris is now in talk now of extending the furlough now till September. Now, if you extend furlough now to September, that means people are not going to want to go back to work, especially if they're still being paid. The only reason people will go back to work is when they stop being paid furlough. We're not getting any kind of furlough here in Greece, and so we want to get back to work. We want to get our economy turning and burning again. But if you keep giving people handouts, it is not going to encourage people to say, right, let's get the vaccination jab if we have to get it. Let's get back to work. Let's start earning some money, because I think once you can't pay your mortgage anymore, that will be a wake-up call for many people that they now need to get back to work. I do know people at the moment in the UK who are back to work and coping very nicely with what's going on and just getting on with it and doing what they can. But at the moment, this is worrying us now, because if you do decide, the UK, that you are going to extend furlough to September, people are probably not going to be able or want to book a holiday and come away. But again, we shall wait and see for this. So at the moment, there's a lot of things sort of twisting and turning at the moment, not just here in Greece, but also back in the UK as well. Right now, another kind of interesting story, and people are saying, well, that's typical of the French. Anyway, France has reversed its decision on the use of Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine for the over 65s, now approving it for older people with pre-existing conditions. Hooray, the French. Anyway, early in the year, doubts were raised on the vaccine's efficiency in older people, but since then, such studies have shown that it is highly effective among the elderly. The EU drugs regulator has approved it for all adults, but it is up to each member state to set its own rules for the vaccine usage. Anyway, the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine is widely used in the UK, where health officials have stated that it provides high levels of protection for all ages, but a number of EU countries are still limiting its use to under 65s, and this is also including Greece as well. So we'll wait and see what changes there. A little bit of news not associated with COVID, and I can hear a cheer already. The Fire Department of Zakynthos announced the follow-up concerning two fires in the forest areas of Keri and Koilies. Regarding the fire in the area of Keri on the 26th of February, a 69-year-old man was arrested for causing fire by negligence. Legal proceedings followed, both criminally and also an administrative fine was issued as well. Now, concerning the cause of fire in the other area of Koilies, the fire department is calling for attention to all residents in forest areas that there is current legislation with regard the universal fire ban. Regardless of local weather conditions, any work within a forest area is required. Violations are accountable and prosecuted in accordance with the relevance of law. Now, any agricultural work that has to be done, they have up until the 1st of May to carry out any burning in those areas, and that must be carried out with fire safety measures and the non-removal from the area once the fire has been left. So basically what they're saying is people working in those areas, agricultural, not private burning, but agricultural burning, you're not allowed to leave your area where you've been burning your olive clippings and all of that sort of stuff, because if you accidentally cause a fire, in Greek law, it's a criminal offence. So you must be very careful and make sure that you've got extinguishers on hand to put your fire out if it should get out of control. And in fact, I'm surprised anybody's managed to get a fire to do anything crazy, especially with the amount of rain that we've had. But some people have, and it's been through negligence more than arson, shall we say. But again, in Greek law, you can still be fined for causing a fire accidentally. All right. Anyway, it seems that the national scandal in the arts is still taking a turn at the moment. The lawyer of the jailed former National Theatre director Dimitris Lignadis, who is accused of raping two minors, has vowed a series of lawsuits in the coming days in defence of his client and to uphold his own personal and legal dignity. This is the lawyer, I think, talking at the moment. Alex Kouklas announced on Monday that he will file for the first time in his career media a report to the leadership of the Supreme Court against the prosecutor who conducted a preliminary examination for not summoning his client, as he had a legal obligation to provide an oral or written testimony before prosecuting. He also slammed coverage of the case by the media and said he will also appeal to Greece's National Broadcasting Council. Anyway, also in regards to that same case, a respected stage director and actor, Stathis Livathinos, has resigned from the drama school of the Greek National Theatre, citing irreconcilable differences with students who have left him because they see him as a tyrant and a bully. He said, "I apologise again if I've hurt some of you. Any strictness from my part had nothing more than care and concern that you are properly equipped to face the future in the theatre." Anyway, Livas, who has vehemently denied allegations of verbal abuse, said in a letter of resignation, speaking to the Kathimeria newspaper earlier, he said that he does not feel any bitterness towards the students that complained about his teaching methods, but added he also refuses to enter into dialogue with them concerning his reasons for stepping down. In an announcement, the National Theatre said that the complaints against Livas were aired during a teleconference of the school faculty and students held on February the 6th, despite indication that bridges could be mended after the meeting. However, the students since refused to attend the director's classes, leading to Tuesday's final writ. So there you go. It's all happening in the world of theatre here. He's probably got a point. He's probably just been really strict on his students, because if you're going to work in the arts and in theatre, it can be a very, very tough life, and especially here in Greece, because it's not like the UK or America in regards of theatre, film and television. Yes, there is an industry going here of kinds, but nothing on the scale of Britain and America. And so therefore, yeah, it is a tough life, and maybe, he's a little bit too harsh on the troops, shall we say, and they don't like it. But that could be the youth of today. Once again, just to remind you that if you experience any form of domestic or sexual abuse or violence here in Greece, you can get help. You don't have to sit and suffer in silence. You can either call the police directly on 100, where there are trained policemen there, and the police are now more aware of this than what they've ever been in the past. Or you can call the dedicated helpline, which is staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and the number for that is 1440, and there they also speak English as well as Greek, obviously, and they will be able to listen, give you an ear to talk to, and maybe help you if you want to take things to a further level. All right, so I'll just give you that number again, 1440. Right, I'm just going to quickly look at some of the comments that are coming through at the moment. We've got Austria tuning in this morning. Nice to see Thomas Ganser looking in. Nice to see you, fella. Hope you're doing well over there where you are. Lyndon is looking in from Wales. Nice to see you as well. Ian Boo says, morning, DJ Ginge. Morning, Ian. Andy Orchard over there in the UK, first line responder, ex-RAF Reg. Nice to have you. Wiggy Win Stanley, the ambassador to Wigan, is tuning in as well. I'll give you a mention in my latest Northern Soul show that I just recorded yesterday, Wiggy, so listen out for that on Sunday. Rachel Hansen is also watching as well. Nice to see you, Rachel. Dave Coldwell in America is tuning in as well. John David Hester says morning to you, David. I haven't read your message about Vanny Whaler, actually, Wiggy. I'll have a look when I finish the show, all right? That's just a private message for me. Denise Driscoll is watching as well. Tim Troon is watching. Rachel Harrison is also watching as well. Andy Johnson is watching. Amanda Gregory is watching. Weather forecast for Amanda. Morning, Ginge. Plenty of cloud today, but also sunshine. A high of 17 degrees. Enjoy. No news is good news on the pups. Oh, bless them. Hopefully they're doing all right. Okay, Alan Woodhouse is watching as well. Emma Marku is watching. Derek and Bridget Cole in Cyprus are watching. I hope all is good with you guys over there. Larry Smith is watching. Simon Podson is watching. Dave Lowry is watching. Nice to see you here. Emma Marco says, morning, Ginge. You said it how it is. Furlough has been a good thing when it all started, but all this money the government has borrowed has to be paid back. And how is it going to be done? Tax rises. Oh, she says, see more. I agree with you there. Tax rises, which doesn't sit well with me. I pay enough as it is. And the interesting thing is, the tax rises are being hit on the ordinary man in the street, but you don't see the corporations who've made an absolute killing at the moment. Amazon with its parcel deliveries, also with the pharmaceutical companies making millions with all the vaccine that is being created. A lot of these companies are not paying any form of corporate tax in the UK. They might be salting it away into Ireland, where they then redish it out as loans, where again they don't pay tax on it. So again, it's this one way of looking at it: capitalism for the ordinary man in the street, socialism for the corporations, because they're not paying any taxes, all right? Especially the likes of Google, Amazon, who've all made fortunes over this pandemic. So again, people, once they get back to work and the money stops, this will stop all this wokey, oh, I can't go back, I might catch it, I might can't catch it. Grow a pair of balls, some of you. Get back to work, get on with it. If you have to have the vaccine, and I'm now looking at maybe having to have the vaccine because I want a life again. I was looking at Peter Hitchin the other day saying, in the end, I've had to cave in and have the vaccine because I want a life. And this is what's happening. We're all being controlled. We're all being told what to do. And if you have to have the vaccine to be able to go see family, friends, to travel, just to, have a life, this is the way we're being pushed at the moment. And I just see it as happening. All right. So anyway, we'll wait and see. Anyway, Tim Crystal says, morning, June. Still not heard anything from the Greek embassy. Have left messages and emails. Yeah, we'll wait and see what the situation is with entertainers coming over, etc. like that. Again, we still don't know. We still do not know what is 100% going to happen. We're living on this. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Today, we're going to see what's going to happen just for now or tomorrow until Clean Monday, which is a week away from tomorrow. We shall wait and see. Again, nothing's been reinforced or reiterated as to, what you can do on Chicknapempty. We know we're in lockdown. We're not stupid. We know we're not supposed to be breaking the rules, but we'll wait and see what line the government is going to take on that. And I'm talking about the Greek government now on things like that. And again, even with the UK now, there's talk now that you might be getting furlough money. If you're one of the lucky ones who's being furloughed, there's a lot of people who aren't so lucky to get furlough. The self-employed, that all this marvellous bailout they were going to get. Some of them I've read have only had about a £500 handout, and that's it, and nothing else. People now are saying, we've had enough of this, we've got to get back to work. But those that are in the, shall we say, the proper jobs, shall we say, where they're looked after and they're getting their money because they're not self-employed, because they're working for companies, working from home and all of that. Once your money stops, let's see how quick you are to get back to work and how all of a sudden I've got to pay that mortgage. Oh, Jesus. They're not going to give me any more money to sit at home on my arse and wait until it's all over and I can come out from the shelter because the bombing has stopped. But anyway, we'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to have to go in a minute. Can I just say thank you for all the little messages? Yes, when you said Bunny Valor, I remembered just Bob Marley and the Wailers. Yeah, I've actually got a section for him in my show today. Don't forget, tomorrow... today I've got my live show broadcasting from 3 o'clock your time in the UK till 5 o'clock, which is 5 o'clock my time until 7 o'clock in the UK. I shall look forward to it, and come and join us. If you've got any requests, any dedications, stick them down below and let me know. Right, okay. gonna go now because I feel like the power cut is coming. Once again, thanks for tuning in. I'll keep my ear to the ground. If I hear of anything, I will let you know, and we'll see what happens for Chicknapempty tomorrow. Whether they're going to ban the barbecue. That'll be the next thing. They're going to ban the barbecue here in Greece. But we'll wait and see what comes today, and I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.